So this is our humanitarian making map, and I'm going to do a walkthrough of how the platform actually works. So we can see we have some countries here, and right now we're set to all countries. So I'm going to change that, and I'm going to go to Somalia, and then we will see all the manufacturers that have been displayed in Somalia. I'm going to filter that down by district, and then I can see that there were these three there. I'm going to go to another district, and I can see that there's one there. I'm going to go back to all districts, and I'm going to click on one of the manufacturers, and this is where you can see the actual information right here. And if I want to see the workforce data, then I can see that just by clicking on that drop down, and we can see operational hours and the days and the type of access as well, also the contact and phone number. So you can see the better data that we have, the more information and accurate information we'll be able to supply onto the map. So I'm going to go to the Solomon Islands, and we can see what's going on there, and I'm just going to click on one here, and then we have information about the products, etc. So we have some missing data here, so that's something that could be edited in the admin area, but we also have the option to go to the website and also send a direct email as well, so we might want to also do that. So I can search by active only, and I can also search by disability inclusive. None of them have been marked as disability inclusive, so they won't show up on the map. So let's go back to all countries, and you can also do a keyword search. So if I put in steel, then I would be able to see all the manufacturers that have anything to do with steel. We can see that this particular one here works with steel. So yep, let's go. So I'll take that active only toggle off, and so what I'm going to do now is go into the admin area. So that is how the map works. So let's go into the admin side of things, and I can see that there's 854 facilities. Again, I can filter by country, so I can see what's going on in Fiji. I can edit a particular manufacturer as well, and just simply save the changes. I can also deactivate, and I can delete as a head admin as well. So if I want to add a new manufacturer, I can do that manually also. I can just input the information and click create, and that will show up on the map. So let's go to prepare data, and if you are new to this, then definitely do read the guide, because it gives you quite a lot of information of how everything works. So we can see for coordinates and required fields and multi-island and multi-country data sets, no coordinate columns, then you'll have to map it manually or do it as a temporary placeholder. So yeah, this is really good information. And if we go to import data, then we can just use the import data. That is if you don't have any data to prepare and clean. I'm going to start with data preparation. So I'm going to use Somalia. Now I do know that this is already clean data, but it's showing me there's 232 rows and 54 columns. So I'm going to go to continue. So there are 51 columns that are matched automatically, and then there are 3 that I need to map. So I'm just going to skip each one, and then I'm going to continue to clean. Okay, so it's flagging up there were 3 that need my input, and I'm going to replace with those particular suggestions. So I can do replace with, I can leave blank, or I can leave as is. So you can do that manually. I'm just going to take the recommendations, I'm going to apply those changes and then continue. So I can see the details of the flagged issues. So it's just coordination, it's coordinate latitude and longitude. So it's just basically flagging, are you sure that this is the right location, because it looks a little bit far out from the data set center. I know that that's okay, so I'm gonna just ignore that, and I'm gonna continue to import. Okay, so my data is ready, all my rows are prepared, all my columns are mapped, and there have been 598 values cleaned by the system. So I am going to choose Somalia. Now I can add a new country here if I want to. Well, if it doesn't exist already, then I would just give it the country name. I can also download the clean CSV, and I would continue to import. So we already have Somalia, so I don't need to continue to import. So I am just gonna go back, and I'm gonna go back to the manufacturers page. Okay, so now we have reports. Let's have a look at that. So we have the summary dashboard. We can see that there's 854 manufacturers across 7 countries and 56 districts. So we have 95% active manufacturers and 1 that's emergency activation ready, and none that are disability inclusive. So we can see them by country, looking at this chart and operational status breakdown. And when you come to this page, you can get to kind of understand how important it is to have accurate data, because we can see there's 54,185 staff and 219 female staff recorded, which would imply that there's around 53,000 male staff and 219 female staff. So the better the data that we have, the more accurate, depictions that we can make as well, and assumptions. So I'm going to filter by country. I'm going to go to Fiji, and it's telling me that there are 20 incomplete profiles in Fiji. So we can see the missing fields here: district, main products, contact number and staff number. So if I just click here, I can then edit that and put in the missing information and save the changes. And then we have the export data. I can download all manufacturers, active, emergency activation ready, disability and incomplete profiles. I can build custom reports as well. So I can just click on the drop down, click the country, what type of records do I want to download, district, etc., etc., and download a custom report. And then we can see the import history here. So that is me. I have uploaded some data as CSVs, so everything's reported there. And that is an overview of our reports dashboard. We then have user management. This is where pending requests from admins will show up, and you can activate them. You can also suspend as well. So I have actually suspended myself, and I can also reinstate myself there too. And that is pretty much it. So if I go back to the map, that is a walkthrough of the humanitarianmaking.info for field ready and world vision.